In this video, we're reviewing Bottoms and showing you how to forget high school all over again with a boozy cocktail I've named the Bloody Pineapple. Today, on the Martini Shot. Hello and welcome to the Martini Shot, home of movie reviews and movie-themed cocktails. My name is Brandon. Before we get into the review, we need a drink as sloppy and as unhinged as high school is, with a doozy of a drink named the Bloody Pineapple. And hey, if you enjoy movie reviews and movie-themed cocktails, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to help support the channel. I was not a drinker in high school. Believe it or not, I actually hated drinking. Nothing tasted good to me, and it just seemed to turn people into annoying assholes. I didn't start drinking until college, so I'm a little late to destroying my liver, but this channel has certainly expedited that process. Even though I didn't partake, I still saw some of the hellish concoctions my peers would whip up at parties, and the Bloody Pineapple is an ode to that. Made with the entirety of your parents' liquor cabinet and flavored with fruit that would kill star quarterback Jeff, this drink absolutely packs a powerful, uncoordinated punch. Let's get into it. Go ahead and grab a shaker. You're gonna find this is built in a very similar way to a Long Island iced tea, which basically just means a whole lot of alcohol. But let's go ahead and start with some juice first. You're gonna need 3 ounces of pineapple juice, half an ounce of lemon juice, and half an ounce of lime juice. And now for our spirits, all of these are going to be equal parts. First, starting with some orange liqueur, you're gonna be doing 3/4 ounces, followed by 3/4 ounces of gin, 3/4 ounces of tequila, 3/4 ounces of white rum, and finally 3/4 ounces of vodka. Let's get some ice in that shaker and shake to chill. Now you can go ahead and strain that into a tall glass filled with ice. Carefully pour about 1/4 ounce to half an ounce of grenadine down the side to get a nice little layering effect, and then garnish with a orange slice. There you go, now you have the Bloody Pineapple. So typically the whole idea of a cocktail like this is to just pack as much alcohol in it as you can and be able to taste none of it. And even though this drink comes close, you still get a little taste of each of the liquors. It's still sweet and citrusy, but you are getting a little bit of the botanicals of the gin. I'm even getting a little bit of a bite from the tequila. The rum is under there a little bit. The vodka's pretty much lost, but I mean, that's the entire purpose of vodka in my opinion. And as you get down a little bit farther, that grenadine will begin to sweeten the drink up a little bit more. Super simple, no doubt super effective. Definitely reminds me of a high school party drink, which legally I must say I do not condone. Now that we have our drink, let's jump straight into the review of Bottoms. Teenagedom, more specifically high school, is perhaps the one universal time in our lives we all wouldn't mind forgetting. That potent mixture of puberty, self-discovery, and embarrassment makes for a hell of a cocktail, one that I feel is shared across all kinds of civilizations and cultures in some way. Yet I feel as though we can't help but gravitate towards the media that tries to capture that nonsense, emphasizing how much we as an individual are seen and how we aren't alone in our regrets. It's why films like Superbad, Booksmart, Edge of 17, and hell, even Not Another Teen Movie resonate with people on such a personal level. Bottoms is another contender in this genre that could have easily been labeled as a knockoff, but it's clear after watching the film it doesn't want to be the next Superbad. It wants to be the first Bottoms. Bottoms is a hilarious film that lampoons high school through refreshing, horny, queer eyes and isn't afraid to be unapologetic while also refraining from being simply one-dimensional. The characters are goofy, gross, and flawed in ways that feel authentic to teenagers, due in part to some great writing and endearing performances. Its world is often absurd and fantastical, giving it its own unique identity that makes it feel original and a gay old time. In Bottoms, 2 lesbian friends are looking to lose their V-card before graduation, but as 2 socially ostracized losers, this proves to be easier said than done. Yet the 2 concoct an off-the-wall plan to create a women's fight club in their school, using the guise of self-defense to get closer to some of the girls they have crushes on. This lie brings about bloodshed and battles with the school's football team, with the lives of several teenage dumbasses hanging in the balance. The film is directed by Emma Seligman, who most know from her breakout film Shiva Baby. Bottoms and Shiva Baby are certainly 2 different vibes, where Bottoms made me laugh, Shiva Baby made me want to crawl out of my own skin from secondhand embarrassment. While Shiva Baby is way more of a dramedy in my eyes, Bottoms is a full-blown comedy that occasionally gets serious. Seligman's more emotional moments here don't feel forced in, which is impressive considering how absurd the rest of the film is. She's able to craft believable moments where the story getting more serious feels like a natural progression, rather than just a shoehorn tool to move the plot along. That being said, having seen both of these films, I think Seligman is a bit better at playing it straightforward, yet this is still a hell of a follow-up. Leading the cast is Rachel Sennett, who also co-wrote the film, and Ayo Edebiri, two actors I've been enjoying the hell out of for the past few years. Sennett does a tremendous job in the aforementioned Shiva Baby, but has also brought her comedic prowess to the horror genre with last year's Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Edebiri just seems to be everywhere at this point, holding pivotal roles in series like The Bear and Abbott Elementary, and feature voice roles in Across the Spider-Verse and Mutant Mayhem. Both are great here, managing to bring a bit of depth to characters that could have easily been one-note and cliche, while their comedic timing and delivery remains ever on point. Their characters PJ and Josie aren't exactly good people, but their charisma and back and forth makes them the kind of lovable losers I can get behind. The supporting cast does a great job fitting into this bizarre world, bringing everything from humanity to insanity. Ruby Cruz's Hazel is a cute little dork just looking to find friends, while Nicholas Glitzines Jeff injects a bit of Ryan Gosling's Ken into the high school quarterback archetype, creating a hysterical man-child of a character. And if we're talking hysterical, I have got to mention former running back Marshawn Lynch as Mr. G. What a transition from field to film, because Lynch absolutely steals every scene he's in with what sounded like a ton of improv. I've known the guy had talent ever since he appeared on Murderville, or hell, even his time in the NFL, but now I'm glad others are keying into him. Choosing to set the film in a bit of an absurdist, over-the-top world does wonders for the film's identity, making it fairly unique to the genre. The football team is treated like Greek gods, while classes embrace their pointlessness outside of being obligatory settings for a high school film. And my god, it feels so refreshing to have a high school film that doesn't involve a heavy use of phones and social media BS. When things get violent, it honestly feels like just another Tuesday in this world. This unserious nature of the world actually refrains from clashing with the more serious character moments, meaning it's possible to take the conflict seriously even if we don't take the world the same way. Actually kind of reminds me a bit of 2019's Greener Grass in that regard, though not as existential. I do kind of wish the film embraced its absurdist nature more. We get a better glimpse of it at the end, but I feel the rest of the film could have been just as off the wall. Because the world is so wacky, the conflict itself does feel a little bit far-fetched at times. The film's first couple minutes move so fast to get this plot in motion, while the inciting event feels kind of rushed and not all that believable. We basically get told over an intercom that a girl was attacked by a rival school's football team, and that's how our main characters build the lie around founding their fight club. Yet this idea of a killer football team is never really felt throughout most of the film, at least not until the very end. It just seemed like another way the film could have gotten more outlandish, because as is, the reason for other girls joining the club just doesn't seem super viable. While I do find the film funny, I also found some of the scenes to be aimless at times. Some scenes get dragged by a bunch of riffing that sometimes hits, sometimes misses. When the jokes don't land, it kind of just renders the whole scene pointless at the end. But I will say the film is more in the positives than the negatives when it comes to this. Even though this film is in no way catered to my lifestyle or experiences outside of once being a high school loser, I still had a great time with it. It's an LGBTQ sex comedy that's unapologetic in its identity, while also willing to treat their characters like actual human beings without a heavy reliance on chronically online buzzwords. It's both genuine and animated in a way that feels fairly effective, easily making it one of the best teen comedies of the past few years, and one of the funniest films of 2023. For my rating, I'm giving this film 3.5 car bombs out of 5. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Martini Shot. If you saw Bottoms, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you like what you saw here and would like to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me across all social media channels. Those links are down in the description below. If you enjoy movie reviews and movie-themed cocktails, be sure to check out my website, martinishot.blog. Until next time, thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Live deliciously, but please remember to drink responsibly.